You are probably used to science classes with associated laboratories, and this class has something similar. However, the difference is that the labs in Chemistry 1083 are virtual labs, which means that you don't actually go to a laboratory to do this assignment. But you will be called upon to analyze data, reach conclusions, and synthesize new ideas that extend the concepts of the exercise. Our objectives for these exercises include illustrating important course topics, accessing reliable information online, developing a quantitative understanding of molecular systems, and synthesizing new information. Along the way, these exercises will also promote teamwork and collaboration. So how does this work? The labs are all assignments that are posted in Blackboard. You'll be assigned to a 4-person team, and the lab report that you turn in will reflect the collaborative work of the entire team. One of the team members will be appointed to serve as team captain for the exercise, and the captain will take the lead in coordinating the efforts of the team. Each member of the team will have a chance to serve as team captain for one of the labs this term. To learn who is on your team, go to the course site in Blackboard and look in the left margin of the site. You should find a heading marked My Groups, and when you click on it, at the top of the drop-down list you will see the various tools that you can use to communicate and collaborate with your teammates. If you click on the group homepage, you can see who else is assigned to be on your team. Your team captain is charged with initiating the communications for the group, but if you don't hear from the captain within a few days of the posting of the assignment, you should send an email out to the group to get things started. To access the assignment, you first need to click on the Labs header or the Modules header in the left margin. It doesn't matter which you choose, both will work. You then open the folder that contains the virtual lab assignment. In the Modules folder, the lab assignment appears along with the folders that contain the course modules, and they are always marked by this icon showing a row of flasks. When you open the lab exercise folder, you'll see 4 items contained within it, 5 if you are the team captain. The first is the assignment itself, and your team will ultimately submit your completed lab report worksheet by uploading it to this assignment and submitting it through Blackboard. We will discuss each of the other items in turn. The second item is a link to a soft chalk lesson that contains detailed instructions for this assignment and important background information that will guide you through the steps of the exercise. When you open the soft chalk lesson, the first page you see will activate the pre-lab quiz connection. You can ignore this and simply click on the View Lesson button. This leads to the lab overview page. Each lab will have a short video introducing you to the key concepts of the laboratory and giving you a broader picture about the core principles involved. Following the video will be a detailed set of instructions and a fun scenario that puts the exercise into a real-life context. The remainder of the background section will review course material and also provide some new material that builds upon core concepts. It's important to read through this part carefully so that you'll understand what is needed to successfully complete the lab. If you would like to print a copy of this lesson, a printable PDF version is available for downloading. About 2/3 of the way through the background and instructions file, you should find a page titled Analysis Procedure. This marks the place where you can find a detailed description of the steps you should take to fill out your report. There's also a page that outlines 4 team member roles, and you will take on responsibility for one of those roles as you work on the exercise. At the end of the soft chalk lesson is the pre-lab quiz, and you will need to achieve a perfect score of 15 in order to gain access to the lab review quiz that follows your team's submission of the lab report. Essentially, this works the same way as the lesson quizzes, and you can attempt this quiz as many times as necessary. Please note that this quiz can only be accessed through the soft chalk version of the instructions and background. The next item in the lab folder is a downloadable Word file containing your lab report worksheet and the data that you will be analyzing in this exercise. When you and your teammates have completed your work on the lab report form, each of you should check the work of the others. Each team will only submit one copy of the lab report worksheet, so you'll want to be sure that it represents everyone's best work. The team captain should be the one to submit the final lab report unless he or she chooses to delegate that task to another team member. When the report has been submitted, you will have 24 hours to attempt the lab review quiz, worth 35 points. This timed 30-minute quiz includes 4 questions related to the lab exercise and should be reasonably straightforward to all who have worked on the various parts of the exercise. There are also 3 short essay questions that invite you to reflect on different aspects of the assignment. You'll receive full credit on these essay questions if your response is thoughtful and it addresses the writing prompt. These don't need to be long answers. 2 to 3 sentences will probably suffice, but you may write as much as you feel is needed. Altogether, there are 4 of these team exercises, and they are a great way to see how the topics covered in the course relate to real scientific problems. As always, I urge you to ask questions about these assignments if anything is unclear.